We mainly train cooperative societies, but it doesn't mean that we can't come to this other side of entrepreneurship. Training is based on needs. So enjoy project. So enjoy project. We come in to partner with Shamberere, Pwani, and CoELIB-Egerton to build capacity of the institution so that they can also build capacity of the entrepreneurs. We'll get to know each other more as we interact. I was with the Nakuru team, so I couldn't make it for the first and the second day, but I'm happy to be here today so that we see more areas of partnership. Thank you.
Thank you, Rema. Good morning. Good morning once again. My name is Godwin Tulula Horsimiu. I work as a relationship manager for Western and Nyanza region from the agriculture department of the bank. Basically, we do agribusiness. In the bank, we have like a division purposely to support agriculture. So I cover the whole of Nyanza and Western, supporting value chains. So while Rema does the training, as we give money, actually it's financial support to be able to move. So the reason why we're here is just to listen and see where we can come in to support so that we move on. Thank you.
Thank you, Godwin. Thank you, Rema. So, as she said, we already had a similar event to this one, actually specular, the same 3 days with the CoELIB team. Wilson is representing the team here. We were there 5th, 6th, and 7th. With them, we went through the similar process, and the first team did great in, forging potential collaborations, commitments with the hub. So we expect from you similar results. As we said already, today is time to draw some lessons from these 2 days, first 2 days together, and then to give you time and space to really sit with this amazing team here and talk now one-to-one and decide how to move on with your collaborations, with engagements and MOUs, hopefully. So we want to take you back a bit on the JOY project. If you remember what we mentioned the first day, what is the target? Do you remember? And the pathways for employment. So that JOY aim at boosting. It was 2 pathways. Mwanzo, remember? Self and wage, right? Those are the pathways, and we have also numbers, because we have targets, of course. Do you remember what are the numbers for JOY? How many youth we want to 500 and perfect. 500 is for Shamberere, right? The total is a bit bigger because we have other 2 hubs, as you know. So Shamberere is acting as one satellite hub, integrated agribusiness hub. And of course, then there's CoELIB as the main hub and Pwani as the other satellite hub. So together we will get to this target and hopefully overpass it. Yeah. I had a brief presentation, guys. If you can put it on. What else it's okay, we can just do it. What else did we say day 1? Because the group has been fluid these 3 days. There was people coming, people going. So let's just go back to what Eric said, day 1. JOY does not exist in isolation. This is one takeout we want to offer to you once again today is integrated with the ecosystem. And the ecosystem is made of actors, like each one of you, private institutions, private sector, small and medium enterprises, civil society, what else? Hubs, of course. And each one of these actors need to come together, again, not in isolation, but come together in a process that is needs to be taken advantage of, yeah, for the youth. But of course, we have to understand how to integrate this to the curriculum. So today, Morgan will help me go into a bit of more details on what are the next steps for Joy. So now we are going into development the curricula, and he will explain to you a bit more on what the next steps will be, so that you have a clearer picture. And please, if you have questions, just raise your hands, because this is really a conversation we want to have with you today. Yeah? Now let's just draw some lessons from these 2 days together that were very intense. So the Joy in year 1 wants to aim at reaching an inclusive, participatory approach from all the sectors of the economy, and this is needed for the project to achieve results year one results for the project. So an inclusive, participatory approach. The Joy project is interested in partnering with unique, innovative practices and technology available in various value chains and sectors. Right? So that we can push the wage and self to employment. The role of the hubs is nurturing youth talents through innovation, incubation, investment, and empowerment. We've heard from them. We will hear from them more and more in details today on the how. Building human and institution capacity, generate knowledge, and to encourage sustainable what is Joy about for the development of the curriculum. He's here. And please, any questions or any comments after this brief presentation from Morgan, we will open the floor for you guys. Yeah? Thank you.
Good morning. We haven't had breakfast. Our voices are very low. Good morning. Yes. As Valentina has indicated, we are really happy with your presence here, and we look forward to having these specific engagements between yourselves and the hub in terms of the progression of the Joy project. In terms of, maybe I'll maybe appraise the COP team, but of course Rayama was with us in Nakuru, so he understands some of these details. But for us to be just aware, we are in the 8th month of the 36 months of Joy project. That is the implementation. But of course, we indicated that we are looking at yourself, interacting with the hub, and forming this working relationship that will go beyond the 36 months that we are going to work, within the project framework. So I believe that, some of you will say the period is a bit short, but of course, we are working well, and we are looking at forming this, relationship with you guys, so that it is between you and the hub. And you will realize that at the end of this, I think the following session will be, you representing, of course, maybe your public sector or private sector enterprise. You will have to, have a one-on-one meeting with the, hub representative, so that, you can crystallize and, have these agreements in terms of which specific areas of collaboration, you have identified, and also in terms of your need, what you will need from the hub, what are these things that you will need from the hub. And I know we've had elaborate, discussions from day one. For those of us who are here on day one, we introduced, the Joy project in terms of the working counties, target counties that the project is anchored in. Equally, Valentina has reminded us in terms of the targets, for Nakuru, Kakamega, and Kilifi. Of course, we have 500 here, 500 youth, which are going to be appropriated at 50-50 in gender, female and male. But of course, in terms of the pathways for wage employment, we're looking at 70%, which is 350 youth. Are we confident that we can get 350 youth? Sorry? There are so many. More than 350 for wage employment. Okay. And for self-employment, of course, we are looking at 150. But on top of that, these enterprises that are in self-employment, that these 150, we are further looking at each enterprise. I don't know if we are to the north so much, offering a further 5 employment opportunities. So the discussions we've had with the team, we've come to maybe certain leaning towards, of course, bringing on board already established kind of enterprises that can offer, further opportunities, so that we do acceleration of, these businesses, rather than working with startups, But of course, the door is not closed for startups. You're looking at me pensively, so the door is not closed for startups, and we are going to, see where to find the balance in terms of, us achieving these targets, and also working with the, the already established enterprises and the ones that are coming up. So in terms of the next steps, I believe that all of us will form, the first layer of the hub ecosystem. I believe so. How many are with me? Shamberere Hub ecosystem? Sam is not with me. Sam, you must join us. Yes, thank you, Sam. So we will do an upgrade of the hub, of course, in terms of setting up the systems that will support the training, the mentorship, incubation of these youth that we are going to work with, the 500 enterprises, yes? So we are going to set up systems, and we are looking at a system where you, as the private sector player or public sector player, if you need a service from the hub becomes a one-stop shop for you. Yeah, we are going to come up with a database where if you need certain competencies and skills, you can, you can go and check through the database and see who has been trained, has been mentored, or is currently being mentored that fits the bill for this competency or skill or job that you need. Then the hub will be able to connect you directly. I remember yesterday when we were at Alvin Farm, yeah? He was talking about, needing a driver for his lorry. So I was thinking, imagine that's an employment opportunity. And this driver is working within the piggery, value chain, because he'll be transporting feeds that is formulating to the customers, feed to his other farm. So we are saying that these jobs must not be directly, relating to, let's say, production or processing. These jobs can be, we talked about talked about greening opportunities. So we are looking at, also Alvin Farm is talking about, going green, is phasing out electricity. So these competencies, where is he going to get them from? Yeah? We would have loved the hub to be already set so that we just tell him, go to the hub, Shamberere TTI hub, then you'll get the services there. Yeah? So we will do that system upgrade to enable the hub to be supportive of these strategies and the needs and wants of everybody within the ecosystem. So this is the next step that we are going through. And also in terms of the training mentorship, we are going to do curriculum development. And of course, we are looking at engaging you guys, private sector, yeah? Because you bring in a lot of experience and also in terms of the gaps, yeah? So that we can tailor-make some of these trainings to target your specific needs. Again, I'm sorry I'm biased, I went to Alvin Farm and he was talking about needing certain skills in piggery, even though he gets students from Shamberere, but still they don't have the specific skills that he needs. So still he gets students from here, but again, he does what? The training. Yeah, practical. So we discussed this briefly with him in terms of how can he be engaged in terms of bringing up these issues that are missing within the pig value chain so that we can develop the curriculum inclusive of these issues, yeah? So, and the need for these skills so that when we train, specifically in the piggery, then, is covered so that the youth that have passed through the hub already have these technical skills. They are already trained. And we're also looking at you as a mentor because we are actually, looking to work also with the actual business practitioners, and enterprises so that they can be supported and mentored and held, yeah? Especially for the self-employment tract, yeah? Where people will have to start, doing their own businesses. So in terms of the curriculum development, we really need your input. And I believe that if you see that as an opportunity for you also to contribute to the Joy Project, kindly include it in your form, your matching point form, so that you can discuss it further with the hub representative, so that we can have you on board as we go. These are some of the next steps, so we can have you on board in terms of when we are starting to develop the curriculum. And also, the curriculum are not specifically tailor-made for just technical skills in the various value chains. We are looking at also soft skills, financial literacy, training, and we want to be all inclusive in terms of, prepping our beneficiaries. Because Evans, I think he stepped out, had indicated that, and it's also, common knowledge, that businesses are always set up, so many of them. But I think, Wilson, you said they die off at what age? 3 to 5 years, yeah? They're non-existent, yeah? So we want to try to address some of the reasons why some of, many of our businesses, yeah, that we start are, they don't, last the time in terms of being in operation. So equally, in relation to the development of the curriculum, of course, the curriculum will be administered by TOTs. We'll do also a selection of TOTs, and also we say private practitioners as you, we would like you also to be part of this team that will be administering. So if you see an opportunity in this, in terms of you being a mentor, yeah, to the youth that we'll be working with, you being a trainer, yeah, at the hub, kindly also include that as a possible area of collaboration. So once we've developed the curriculum and we start off, then we will be engaging. And we are saying some of these trainings, because we are going to set up the hub, we can either do them physically, or we can facilitate some kind of, because we are in the age, technological age, yeah? We can do online or offline kind of training, depending on the variables that will be at play during that moment. Yeah. So we are alive to that fact that we'll need to be flexible in terms of also, because you are a private and public players. You are also involved in other areas of work in your various capacities. In relation to training, of course, whom will you be training? The youth. Where are they? As we speak right now, they are somewhere out there, right? Yeah. So how will we get the youth? We'll do an onboarding process, yeah, to get these 500 youth, to have them trained. Once we've developed the curriculum and we are set, yeah. So in this also, if you are here, and of course you have linkages with youth groups, cooperatives that we can work with. I see BDBs represented here. We had a word with the director in terms of leveraging on the youth that already you are working with. I think Mr. Kiboi mentioned that you are having around 900 youth that you're already clustering and making them into these working groups. So as a project, we're also looking at leveraging onto these already existing systems and networks of youth. And as I indicated earlier, you remember that we said that some of these self-employment tract we want to use already existing and enterprises that we can now accelerate, yeah, to do better. So on that also we are looking at onboarding of the youth so that they can be trained, and with that I believe that we'll be able to achieve our objectives in terms of what we are trying to do. So in terms of the steps, I believe that what is in store and many more, and we will keep updating each other. We've set up a WhatsApp group. I believe that everybody has been included in, and we'll keep the conversation going in terms of just sharing of information, and learning from each other, and also just trying to support each other, and also being updated in terms of this is what the next steps, and these are what the project is undertaking in that light. So when a preacher in the churches that I go, preachers always they preach, then at the tail end they always do something. They make a call, and that is always the difficult part for congregation. Yeah, not very many people always get up. They always say, now, if you've heard the word and you are convinced that you want to see the kingdom of God, please rise up and what? So that we pray with you. A step of faith. Do you know what happens? When they always do that, people always look at each other like, who will make the first bold step? Then something always happens, a very funny thing. Yeah? One person always gets up, then what happens? Everybody, yeah? Yeah? So I believe that we are going to be the people who are going to make the first step, yeah? In terms of this clarion call to join the ecosystem. For the Shamberere hub, we have CoELIB, which is representing the Nakuru hub. In joining these hubs, so that we can boost rural youth employment opportunities in the framework of this Joy project. How many are willing and are going to go to those two desks that will be represented by the hub, so that we can have concrete agreements yeah, with specific deliverables so that we can work together. How many? All of us. Thank you very much. So I believe that the next step now will be you. I believe everybody have their, matching point form already filled with the details that maybe you'll need just to brush off and just concretize on together now with the hub representative in terms of the areas of collaboration you've identified, what they are the incentives for you to participate in the joint project, what you'd like to get from the hub as we set it up, right? Yeah, because we said it is what? Scratch my back, I do what? Yes, it is mutually beneficial relationship. That's what we are looking at, so that everybody is happy and we are able to uplift our youth. Otherwise, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Morgan. So, as Morgan said, now it's time for you guys to really, well, first of all, actually, if there are any questions or comments at this point, after hearing all these inputs from Morgan on the joy, or if you want to share some more inputs from yesterday, or you really want to get to work. Because as I said, since day one, today is really, we really want you to now think of your business, of your context, how you, each one of you, or small teams, of course, can actually engage with the hub in practical terms. And that's why we propose this form. We hope it's clear and you guys can take advantage of this way of thinking by steps to really sit down with them. There's Moses here, table 1, and another team from the principal will host the other team over there. And really now we know that you need one-to-one conversation. So we really want to create this space for going a bit more into concrete details on the how now, on the how you can forge those collaborations. We will call you guys to go and sit with them. Yeah, so in small groups or in individuals as you want, as you wish. So Morgan has the list. If you need some more time to go and work on your form, on your idea that you want to share, maybe you can take some few minutes and then actually, yeah? No, wasn't for me. Yeah, what do you think? Do you need some more time to reflect on what you want to share first, and then we can call each one of them, of you? Okay. Come here. You have the names, right?
Yeah, so in essence, maybe, we've been here for 2 days, and I know out of, all of you, I believe there are people who are ready, right? In life, there are those who are called early risers. There are people who they say, I'm not a morning person, but others are a morning person, right? So let's work with the morning guys. Eh? We have teams here who are already seated. If you're already ready and you've identified, yeah, every aspect of your intention to work with the hub at Shamberere, kindly just take that bold step. Actually, you are the person I was talking about. You do that, the first one, to do that bold step to get there, so that you can have that engagement. Maybe you can raise your hand. Yes, Labed Cash is ready. Mr. Laban, kindly join Moses. Yeah, and I would also like to just add, in terms of the services that the hub will offer. I think also in terms of, it's not only skilling of the youth, but also at your enterprise level. If you need reskilling and you've identified that some of the modules that we have, can be beneficial, and of course you'll be part of, the development of these modules, and it will form in terms of the skill gaps that you've identified for your enterprise. We can redo the reskilling also for your, for your team. So feel free to also include that as some of the things that you might need to get from the hub, yeah? Because we need to, work in tandem and, just feed off each other. I'm being reminded that there's a release form that is going to be given to our new participants to allow us use your photos, but not for commercial purposes, just for, in the framework of the Joy Project. Yeah, so Rehema and Godwin, feel free to help us with that. Yeah. Asante. Yes, Mr. Makoa, you ready?
I'm ready.
Yes, very ready. Join table 2. Yeah, so in terms of when you are ready, I believe that you can inform me you are ready, then we can now see how we can appropriate you to those 2 desks so that you can just firm up in terms of your engagement with the hub, and so that they can know when to follow up, whom, if they are following up, in terms of your location, where do they come, which team will you be visiting with in terms of, just following up and, making sure that this relationship goes on. And of course, myself and a hub representative will find time to, visit with us so that we can, further this relationship, yeah, going forward. Yeah, so that's what we are planning to do. Welcome, Bwana Board Member, Mr. Eliud.
Sorry, we will send the matching point form also on digital for the ones who prefer to use your... Yeah? I'll do it right now.
Very great. We are not analog, eh? We are very digital. So I know some of you are wondering, it's a hard copy form, but of course you can have a look at it digitally, then fill it, then you can have that discussion with the representative of the hub. Madam is joining you. Yes.